Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know about necessarily being proud to have the guy on my team, but one guy in particular that has performed well above expectations is Michael Thomas of the New Orleans Saints, rookie out of Ohio State. Stepped into that big receiver role in the slot for Drew Brees, kind of filling the shoes of Marcus Colston a little bit. He's really been a pleasant surprise, a guy that has played well, caught a lot of passes, and looks to really be hitting his stride here late on in the season. So looking to see a strong finish for Michael Thomas, although he's got a tough matchup this week against the Broncos, but we'll see. We'll see how he does going forward after this week.
Wait,
And there's
so
no shame in taking.
Hold on, I want to see this. Are you proud of Michael Thomas?
Yeah, I mean, I would again. I mean, I'm not proud of him. I mean, the rest of my team hasn't performed up to par, so I guess.
Agree with that.
Yeah. I couldn't disagree more with this guy. I mean, I'm a fan of Mike Wallace. He's had a couple big plays this season where he's broken loose and had long touchdown runs or receptions. But to me, Michael Thomas is a guy that he's getting the volume. He's caught 5 passes at least in the last 3 games. He's virtually Drew Brees' #1 target at this point in the season. And a team that's going to throw it 30 to 40 times a game, that's the kind of guy you want on your team. Again, he's playing the Denver Broncos this week, so a tough matchup for Michael Thomas. But, again, playing the Browns on Thursday night, I do see Mike Wallace potentially having a good game. But to me, the only receiver that's going to have a big game for the Ravens against the Browns will likely be Steve Smith.
Well, what do you think is going to happen with those short receptions?
Well, I mean, it'll really matter more about who is going to be covering him in the slot from their defensive back position, because he is their slot receiver, a big-bodied guy. I mean, Broncos were pretty beat up this past week. They didn't have Harris out on the field. Roby looked shaky trying to defend the slot. So Thomas very well could be in for a big day, but on paper it's a tough matchup. Regardless, if you're trying to pick between the two, I think Michael Thomas is the safer bet. He's on a better team that throws the ball way more and way more consistently. So for me, Thomas over Wallace this week.
Welcome into Hoosier Sports Night. I'm Brandon Pavlina alongside Jimmy Cook and Dylan Brunenkant. And we're talking some NFL action as Week 9 just got done last night. And there's a lot of really exciting things going on in the NFL. So, Jimmy, let's start with you. What do you think is like the biggest storyline coming out of Week 9 in the NFL? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when Goff finally takes the field, as everyone's been waiting all year to see the first overall pick in the draft finally in action. Definitely. Dylan giving us some hot takes over there. We got our man Jimmy Cook over here as well. I'm Brandon Pavlina. Thank you for joining us on Hoosier Sports Night. We'll talk to you again soon. Yeah, for me, it's not necessarily even a storyline as much as it's something that I find really funny, and it's the fact that the Saints seem determined not to play defense, or it's really just more or less the fact that they just want to outscore their opponent without having to worry about what the final score has to be. They just figure if they can put up 50 points, they might as well go and do it. I mean, you saw Colin Kaepernick and the San Francisco 49ers absolutely shredding New Orleans yesterday. And I mean, again, it's not like Colin Kaepernick and that offense is really, a high-powered offense. But against the New Orleans Saints, they sure look like it. So not necessarily a storyline per se, just something that I thought was pretty funny that, again, the Saints, they've been doing it for years. They just rely on the arm of Drew Brees and just think that they can put up 50 points at will. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's hard to pick anybody other than the Patriots in the AFC. In the NFC, I think that is really the more interesting of the two. The Cowboys, obviously, with Dak Prescott, really exciting, here earlier on in the season. We'll see if they can maintain it all the way throughout. I do like the Cowboys taking on the Patriots in the Super Bowl this year.